don't get proper rest, you might be so exhausted in the course of all this. But I just hope she's taking out time to also rest. And of course, on that day, I will be streaming live from the ICC. So wherever in the world you are, you can always watch and
it.
You know, experience history. I mean, I'm so happy because imagine then when we were in school, you keep hearing about historic things that happen, but right now you
have to witness
in front of it and see it happen.
And witness it. I mean, Dr. Chigi, she has really putting a lot of work into this, and of course, you know, she's in the health sector, so the conversations are around health. But you know, she also said it's not going to be completely health. She's going to look at some other issues. She mentioned relationships and all the and I know that that's the one that most young people would want to listen to, because seeing that day is Valentine's Day, you know, a lot of people would just want to unwind. I mean, and she made provisions for some side attractions for people that want to come around with their loved ones.
Exactly.
So while they are you know, watching and being a part of that moment, they are also having a good time, buying things. I
mean, that's the only way to keep people locked in that particular sport, if you ask me, because you know, you could get bored and your attention span could
listening to people talk for 12 hours. I don't know, that's really a lot.
It's really a lot.
I don't think people really understand. And I think
about 100 interviews.
Yes, I don't think people really understand the magnitude of that type of conversation. Quincy,
I think it's more stressful than cooking a big pot of rice that Hilda Bassi did.
Do you think so?
I think so.
Have you cooked a big pot?
I mean, talking for 12 good hours. Trust me, you don't want to do that.
Well,
your jaw will be so sore. Honestly, I think it's easier to cook a big pot of rice like Hilda Bassi did than to talk for 12 hours, if you ask me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that day is going to be 14th of February, so it's going to be a very memorable one. Two things. We'll be celebrating two things on the same day. We're going to celebrate Dr. Chigi's victory and winning the game. And, you know, she mentioned something that is very interesting about the guidelines of Guinness World Records and the technicalities involved. Just the tiniest mistake can just disqualify you completely. And she's really made efforts to make sure that she sticks to all the guidelines. So let's hope that nothing comes out from all those technicalities. We don't have any issues with that. So we'll be celebrating two things: Dr. Chigi's victory and Valentine's Day. It will make Valentine's Day even better. That will
even
be
more memorable,
and better. Well, make sure to stay tuned, as we will be there live, giving you the updates. You'll be watching it live as it happens, and also be part of that historic moment on Valentine's Day. If you're in ENUGU, you can make sure to come to the International Conference Center and witness and be a part of this. We'll be back shortly. Do stay with us.
Bright and early as the day breaks, as the newspaper headlines trail the stories that shape the day, we at Signature TV trail the headlines that trail the day. We interrogate the headlines. We analyze the stories that make the headlines.
Why is overrated, and they even overrated themselves, and when you go see it, they are insensitive of some Nigerian children who have never had what it was CBT.
With passion and emotion, we drive the conversation to change a narrative.
Let nobody be deceived by Nigerian high level of performing in agriculture export. We are still where we are.
Newspaper review on Signature TV every morning on Signature Morning, weekdays, and Signature New Day, weekends. Newspaper review on Signature TV. We do not just review the headlines, we make the headlines relevant to our daily lives.
The Senior Program Officer of Women's Rights Advancement and Protection Alternative, RAPA, Abiba Ahmed, said prompt prosecution of offenders will not only ensure justice for victims of violence, but also serve as a strong warning to perpetrators. According to her, domestic violence against men and women is an issue which the state, the government, policymakers, and families should collectively address.
So violence against women and girls have no qualification, have no perception. It is wrong. It is wrong. It is the issue of the state, it's the issue of government, it's the issue of policymakers, it's the issue of fathers, it's the issue of mothers, it's the issue of brothers and sisters. It's a collective thing that we need to stand together and address together. Secondly, leaders of faith and culture are not the issue when it comes to violence against women and girls. They are actors that we could leverage on to prevent it from happening. Thirdly, we are calling on the judiciary to please expedite more effort in ensuring that the cases of violence against women and girls are being prosecuted on time so that it serves as a learning point and also serve as a deterrent for perpetrators.
We have the civil society organizations, we have a cross-section of media, we have judiciary, highly placed judges of the judiciary, lawyers, eminent, and civil society activists in the room. And what are we saying? We have been there. These are the evidences. How do we go on building on evidences, avoiding the challenges of the past, looking at evolving trends? How do we go on collectively for us to be able to get to a point of zero tolerance of VOG in our community? That is the essence of gathering this quality of stakeholders in this place.
Also speaking to newsmen, lead consultant at the Luxterra Leadership Foundation, Solomon Agbohulu, advocated for a blend of faith-based and legal approaches in tackling violence against women and girls. He traced the root causes of violence to poverty, lack of education, and economic overdependence.
I believe that a blend of these two, faith and law, will go a long way to reducing or addressing this scourge of violence against women and girls. There are things that are causing this violence against women and girls. And so we have to address the root causes to ensure that we arrive at solutions. And so what is paramount for me is education and empowerment. I see it from what we have done so far. Education and empowerment is very important for the girl child to ensure that at least the issue of dependence largely on the men folk is reduced to the barest minimum.
If wife proves to be stubborn, what is it expected of him to do? First and foremost, he was ordered to admonish her. The next steps, if she ignores the admonition and the counseling, he may avoid her. He may distance himself from her bed as a punitive measure. And if that fails, then wadribuhunna is used. Of course, literally, wadribuhunna literally means beat them. But when it comes to practical application of the meaning, the early generation of Muslims who synchronized the revelation of that verse also misunderstood it in the same manner it is misunderstood today. They went to apply it literally, and they were corrected by the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, that was not what was meant.
At the end of the 2 days program, the stakeholders have spoken that violence against women and girls is intolerable in any society, and Nigeria is not different, calling on the government to do the needful. From the nation's capital, Abuja, I am Nasiru Usman, reporting for Signaturetv.
The Nigerian Stock Exchange closed Thursday, February 5th, 2026, on a strong note driven by broad-based buying across major stocks. A total of 712.94 million shares, valued at 22.23 billion naira, were traded in 46,078 deals, representing a 3% increase in volume, 8% growth in turnover, and a 10% rise in deals compared with the previous session. Market capitalization climbed to 109.1 trillion naira, reflecting improved investor confidence. In all, 129 equities participated in trading, with 55 gainers against 19 losers, underscoring bullish sentiment. Seplat Petroleum Development Co. led the gainers with 10% share price appreciation, closing at 7,317 naira per share, from an opening price at 6,700 naira per share, followed by Coronation Infrastructure Fund, which surged with 10% to close at 100 naira per share, while Guinea Insurance gained with 10% to close at 1 naira 43 kobo per share, and RT Briscoe wrapped up Thursday's trading session with 9.95% to close at 11 naira 49 kobo per share. On the losing side, Deep Capital Management and Trust came out last with an end-of-day price depreciation of 9.62% at 6 naira 20 kobo per share, from an opening price at 6 naira 86 kobo per share, followed by Universal Insurance Company, which declined with 9.43% to close at 1 naira 44 kobo per share. Meanwhile, the benchmark Nigerian Exchange All-Share Index increased with 1,975.18 points to close at 170,005.36. However, the Naira remained largely stable across both the official and parallel foreign exchange markets on Thursday, February 5, 2026, reflecting sustained liquidity and cautious trading sentiment. At the Nigerian foreign exchange market, the currency traded at around 1,392 naira to 1,398 naira per US dollar, with mid-session rates hovering near 1,395 naira to 1,396 naira, supported by steady inflows and continued Central Bank of Nigeria interventions. In the parallel market, the Naira exchanged at about 1,468 naira to 1,000